our lesson today is one of those things that you won't ever get out of your head once you learn it. I mean, you might not remember exactly how to do it, but the acronym we're going to use today, FOIL, is maybe something you guys have seen before. Tinfoil, right. But like as soon as I said that this morning to Mr. Donahue, he was like, he knew immediately what it all stood for. The reason I said something was because I actually have a t-shirt with the words FOIL on it for a math t-shirt. I couldn't find it. I know, such a dork, but I only do wear it. I couldn't find it because I wear it once a year. Like I wear it the day I teach FOIL, and I couldn't find it because like we're in the middle of moving, and so
to be honest, you probably would have gotten questioned a lot.
But yeah, like it's not like I wear it like on the regular. It's not. Yeah, it must still be in the wash from the last time I wore it.
Imagine how swaggy you would look though, just like walking up here with a mat.
Hey, guess what? My board isn't working again. Shocker.
Who knew? Well, it's a Wednesday. Wait. It's Wednesday?
It's Wednesday. I felt like this is a long week.
No,
not a long week. You thought it was like last night when I was like leaving the track meet. I was feeling like it felt like it was a Friday.
Last night went really slow, but that's because we had a soccer game.
It wasn't raining though, at least. So the same thing with the track meet. I was like, man, that would have been a miserable track meet if we stand out in the rain.
What?
Oh yeah, I really got mom. I got her twice in time
What did they say?
because at the scrimmage she got her as well. That's the stuff.
Come on, board, let's work. What in the world? Why is it?
Here we go again.
I swear, this is the only class that does this in.
This is not
It's your fault.
No, it's not. Stop.
No.
Why?
Come on, really? I think we should go back to the board. Yeah, I think so too. The only thing is the video recording's a little bit. Okay, I think I'm gonna do it this way.
And this is fun too because I don't think that's looking
Right. We'll do it this way. Okay.
like no one has better luck than Mrs. Donahue today.
It's fine. I know, yeah. The board just needs the board is not a morning board. It wants. Right, I don't get it. It like doesn't give me any trouble in my other classes. Okay. It just knows you guys can handle it because you're such good students.
Because it can't do anything.
Okay. So guys, talking about our warm-up question here. So in this case, for our warm-up question, we want to distribute and then combine like terms. And then it asks us to also write it in standard form. So I'm going to distribute here. And then this one, the plus, really doesn't need to be distributed plus 1. So I really don't need to distribute anything on that last part. I can just drop the parentheses off. So I'm distributing this 3 in here. Then there, I'm making that a negative 4. He's escaping.
I was connecting this with you earlier.
Then that's going to become a plus x squared. And then this one, the signs just stay the same. Once I'm there, then again, I want to do standard form right away, so I'm going to grab the highest power first. So this 3x squared, I'm going to take that first with the x squared. So 3x squared and 1x squared is going to be 4x squared. So we just add those coefficients. Then the next thing is this 5x doesn't have anything to go with, so I'm just going to write plus 5x. And then all of these without variables I'm going to put together. So negative 6, negative 4, negative 1, so that's going to be negative 11. Okay? It makes sense when you're here, and then you get home, you're like, what? Okay, so we're going to go on to the actual notes then. That was our warm-up. I just asked those of you guys who have computers open, if you guys could close those up and go to notes with us, please.
Yeah, I'll wait.
This was like almost closed. Okay, so in these two, problems, we're just distributing that single term into these terms. Now when we're multiplying, so these rules are talking about, what we're doing here is multiplying this 5a into each of these. So when we distribute, we're multiplying. That has to take you back to last chapter in our rules on multiplying with monomials. So I'm multiplying 5a to the second times 4a to the second. So think back to our multiplying rules. So kind of try to ignore the addition rules right now. So multiplying, if last chapter we were multiplying those two together, so 5a to the second and 4a to the second, what do we end up with?
20a to the 4th.
Yeah, so this is going to be a 20a to the 4th. So I multiply the coefficients, and then here I do add the exponents because this is multiplication. Okay? Makes sense? And then, so then the 5a to the second is being multiplied by the 2a. So plus, now I'm going to go here, 5a to the second, 2a is going to be 10a to the third. So 5 times 2, and then a to the second, a to the first. And then this sign tells me it's going to be minus 5a to the second times a negative 7. We can multiply those, so just multiply the coefficients, which just happens to be the 5 times the negative 7. So that's where negative 35, and then we just bring that variable along. So we're distributing that in, and we're just using our multiplication rules from last time. No, it's not too bad. Now, are any of these like terms? No, so we're done there. So that's in standard form. It's simplified as much as it can. Nothing else can be combined, so we stop there. It's not too bad. So this next one, we're taking this 6y, and distributing that in. So take a minute to try this one if you haven't already. Other technology issues lately, so I feel like I'm bugging him too much, so hopefully this just fixes it.
It's bugged by everyone.
I know, but he's very helpful when I need him, so I don't want to overstay my. Because yesterday when I did my recording, I recorded like a 20-minute video, and then I went to upload it, and only like 9 minutes uploaded. So we were trying to figure out what happened. But okay, so 6y times 4y to the second. So someone other than Justine, thank you. What did you guys get? 24, yeah. 24y to which power? Third, very good. So 24y to the third, so 6 times 4, yeah, if the worst thing you do is multiply incorrectly, you're probably doing okay. Then we have a 6y times a negative, there's like a 1y there. Yes.
Negative 6y to the second.
Negative 6y to the second, you just can't help it.
Hey, it's not my fault. That was the
Okay.
monster talking, sorry.
So y and y, so we add those exponents, and then finally 6y times a negative 5, 30y. And then again, nothing can be combined because none of those are like terms. That's it. Okay? Does that seem okay?
Sure.
So what we're going to do today now is we're going to take that idea and yesterday's idea and try to put them together. So we're going to do multiplying and the adding and subtracting all in like one problem, which obviously is a little bit tougher, but still not terrible. And the reason there's an acronym for FOIL is just because it's just an easy way to remember. So it's not, I was expecting my notes to be up there, but they're not. All right, so I'm going to kind of write things a little bit. So I'm going to do, example 1 is going to be over here. There's another example 1 here. So this is going to look a little bit different than your notes just because I just need to use my space better.
No, we have that.
I know, it's just like, it's up over, like, it's not exactly, it's not.
Okay, I thought you were saying like it's not on our paper. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about because it's right here.
Okay, no, we're good. Oops. Okay. So, the letters in FOIL are just to help us remember what we need to multiply here. So, in these two, we have 2 sets of parentheses being multiplied. So this is a little bit different than what you just saw, where I just had one thing being distributed. So basically, this is like 2 things are being distributed to 2 values over here. So the F stands for first. And basically, it's telling you to multiply the first term times the first term. So first, so that's saying take this 3m and multiply it times m. And to be honest, you can do this without using FOIL, but it just kind of helps you make sure you get everything kind of checked off. So 3m times m, so we're multiplying here. 3m times m. 3m squared, because m times n, we're multiplying on that step. So all of these first few steps are going to be multiplication. I'm going to change colors. All right, next one is O, which is outer. So now we're going to multiply the outer 2 terms times each other. So that's this 3m and then this 2 as well, the negative 2. So 3m times negative 2, which is so just a negative 6m. We're having technology issues again.
I
know. Yeah, I'm just rolling with the punches here.
Yes, and that's going to be entered.
Okay. Yep, so yeah, so you kind of already figured it out. So she said, I think those are going to be the inner ones because we just did outer. So yep, inner, which is a weird word.
First is a weird. Look at the way it's spelled.
So the inner 2 terms now, that's the 2 that are right next to each other here on the inside. So that's going to be 4 times 1m, which is going to be a positive 4m. 4 and positive 1. And what do you think L stands for?
Last.
Yeah, we had first and now we have last. So the last two terms in each set of parentheses are going to be multiplied. So 4 times negative 2, positive 4, negative 2 is going to be multiply is a negative 8. So the first outer inner last helps us just to make sure we remember to multiply everything. Just like when I'm passing out your notes. I want to make sure I get them to everybody. And every once in a while I miss somebody if I kind of change my order and I'm doing something, like maybe I missed Jaden just because he's kind of on his own little island back there, you know, like whatever it happens to be, that I have to use the same process, otherwise I make a mistake. So same idea here, this FOIL just helps you to make sure you don't miss something. Now we're not quite done yet though. Once we do FOIL, do you see anything else we can do with this? Yeah, there's some like terms here. So once you've done FOIL, you want to combine any like terms you can. If there are like terms to combine, and these two are alike. But you have to kind of change gears in your head here. When we combine like terms, that's technically addition. So you have to kind of change back. So these are all multiplication. And this is add. So be careful that you're changing like your mindset. So we're not doing the same math on each of these. So this 3m squared, nothing's going to happen. But this negative 6m and a positive 4m, think back to addition. What's that going to be? Negative 2m. So remember, you just add or subtract the coefficients and leave the variables the way they are. And then just this minus 8. All right, questions there? All right, let's do example 2. I realize I think it looks nicer than it is outside. Isn't it cold outside today?
Not really.
It was so sunny yesterday at the end of the day, and then it was just so cold.
It got really cold.
It's 40 degrees.
The sun started going down, and it just got really cold.
It's 43. Well, I was praying for sun, so the
You
sun
said
is
43?
good.
Oh yeah, heat wave. Okay. We need our suntan lotion. Okay, so in this one, so this is our example 2 here, that's on the bottom right of your page. Again, we're going to do first outer inner last. I think the little arrows are helpful. So like kind of using those arrows to help you to make sure you're distributing to everything. So first is telling me to multiply the first 2 terms together. He's nuts today.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. He's like banging trying to get out there. So yeah, so 10x squared. So 5x times 2x. So 10x squared. Then outer, F-O, outer is the outer 2 terms. So 5x times 8 positive is going to be 40x, positive 40. The I in FOIL is the inner 2 terms. It's going to be a negative 8x. And then last is a negative 32. Okay, so now these middle 2 terms can go together. And typically with FOIL, it will be those middle 2 terms. A lot of times the way these will be set up, not always, but most of the time. So this first one doesn't change, but these middle 2 I put together, so it's 40 minus 8, which is 32, positive. And then we just bring the x along, because we're adding them. And then there's no more like terms. Now there is another way to do these FOIL problems. It's something called the box method. But if you're understanding FOIL, it's probably good just to do that. I will show you guys the box method when we get to the back side of the notes, because I kind of like it a little bit better there. But I can show you guys that in a little bit. So I think we're going to take a break. I mean, hopefully the video uploads today.